Hi, hello, my lovely angels and demons alike out there. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day or night or whatever time it is for you. Today I decided to get back to Doki Doki. Woo! I know it's been a while again since my last recording, but you know, the holidays, because I live in America and had to deal with Thanksgiving and family and all that drama. For those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope all of you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. To those of you who don't, I hope you had a great Thursday. Or, yeah, it was Thursday, right? I don't know, I have lost my concept of time. Anyhow, I believe we should just get right into this. Alright. So, first of all, to recap, we have been dragged to the literature club by Sayori. We met everyone. Who we met Natsuki, Yuri, and Monica. Monica's the leader. Yuri is like this quiet girl that loves creepy stuff. And then Natsuki is a hothead, I suppose. And then we got a thing to write our own poem, I suppose. Something like that. Yeah. Anyways, with that, the two of us depart the club and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, okay, so here it is. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica, who so far is my favorite. I kind of like them both. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Oh, do I actually have to write a poem? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. So we just have to pick words that we think one of our favorite people might like, but I don't really know anything about them. I feel like she would like anything that kind of digs into you personally. So, we have to do 20 of these? Oh, 420. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Extreme, I guess? So far is them jumping meaning I'm doing words they like? Because so far she's jumped and she's jumped. Yeah, I think that's what that means, right? Vivacious. Meager. Boop. I feel like that would go with her. I feel like it would. Vitality. Philosophy. Memories. Uncontrollable. Oh, Doki Doki. I think I mentioned in one of my videos that that's like the sound like in Japan that they put with the heartbeat. Instead of it being like boom boom, it's Doki Doki. Is that true? If someone like tell me that, I don't know. Let's go with. You know what? Let's do Doki Doki just because I mentioned that. Oh, I got her to jump some. Yay. Grief. Romance. Clumsy. Heartbeat. I'm kind of all over the place. Oh, Monica. Okay. I don't remember any of the voices I did for these guys, so and I do know one of them was absolutely killing my voice. So let's just go at this. Hi again, Fallen. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Fallen. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on! Like, he deserves any slack. Sayori told me he didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Oh, snap. Okay, then. Oh, she kind of stuttered and got all flustered. I'm sorry, Natsuki. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and... Is it manga or manga? I think it's manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Fallen always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. I need a story on this. I need to know what happened. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Fallen can become good friends too. Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh! You even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy! It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So, any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. What was that whole exchange between me and Yuri? That was... Oh my goodness. That doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. Can't help but notice her I promise, guys, I can talk. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. Catch a glimpse of the corner of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Uh, Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. That only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious. Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book? Uh, well, when I stopped by the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. Ah, I see. She bought one for us! Oh, she's so sweet. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it, once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just want to make sure I didn't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter who she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. I would actually really like a book like that. That seems like it'd be a really interesting read. Anyhow, it's kind of dark, isn't it? Ray made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Pollen? I am. I personally would love a book like that. No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a different, new perspective. Did I read that right? Or did I have a stroke in the middle? I don't know. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. that's... Well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieve the book that I had put into my bag. Alright. Is it fine if I sit here? Right? It's fine if I sit here, right? I slip in the seat. I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? Seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. Soon I understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as if I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? Aw. That's kind of sweet. It means that she's, kind of conscious of what she does and how people react. I mean, I kind of do the same thing depending on what's going on. Anyways, I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean, here, this should work, right? I slap my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. Oh, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it a little difficult to turn the page. Here. Oh, who did the art for this? I swear, this is amazing. This looks beautiful. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. The way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Oh, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face and our eyes meet. Did her eye move, or has she always been looking out of the corner of her eye? I don't know. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. Oh, she smiled! Okay, so this scene is changing. That's actually kind of cool. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. Probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Okay, yeah, her eye did move. So the scene... This is really cool. This is a lot of detail. I really like this artwork. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does, and she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. Fallen. That's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. No, wait. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I'm more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. Oh, thank you, Monica. Thank you. I think it's about time we share today's. Oh, I think she said, I think it's about time we share today's poems. I did not mean to click that fast. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Uh. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. Guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up, make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then I slip it back into my bag. By the way, you did remember to write a poem last night. Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of a loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see that Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I did the same myself. Oh, I get to choose? Okay. I believe this one I did a lot that went with Yuri and Sayori. Maybe I'll get a chance to write one more for Monica? Actually, let's see what Monica thinks first. I should start with Monica. Yesterday she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in effort. Hi, Fallen. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the clubs, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. Same! I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Yes! Okay, my character is a lot more relatable than I thought he would be. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Fallen. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Fallen. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. Not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism? Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive from their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I've never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, it's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Okay, so her poem, Hole in Wall? Okay, so. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the sparkle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It wasn't too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. Is this like, that makes me think of like a peephole in a door or something. Is that what she's writing about? That's kind of what I think. So, what do you think? It's very free form, if that's what you want to call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the time in between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. Kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Oh, is she gonna give us daily advice? Oh, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Thanks for listening. Okay. So, I think we're gonna get through showing everyone. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten up. I think we're gonna share the poem, and then I think we might be able to call it for a day. You know? Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. Aww. I'm not gonna hate you. At least I hope my character won't. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a deep breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Oh, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time writing, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly. Well, I know that. I just mean, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine? Not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Oh, please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Oh, hers is short. Okay. So, Ghost Under the Light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight that have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Well, okay then. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking about that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read scripts very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short, right? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Is that Hugh? I don't know. Actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember, the poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. Well, it mentioned, like, her hair and her staring at a light, so I feel like she's, like, made a breakthrough, I suppose. Like, something has made her see a light within herself that is withstood everything she's been through. I don't know. That's my take on it. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolic compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Huh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. Uh, you know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Fallen. Me too. Okay, now we have Natsuki and Sayori. Now I know we had some stuff for Sayori, so let's go to her. This is a good poem, Fallen. Are you sure it's your first time? I forgot her voice is squeakier. Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing a poem in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. And really, I'm really happy that you just wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. I guess that's a valid point. Well, of course. Not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? Like I said before, Fallon, deep down you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now, you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Okay. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. It's kind of all over the place. Okay then. Sayori. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least it makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast! Oh, that sounds good. Now I kinda want eggs. Dang. Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This is so much fun! Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever! Well, I guess I look forward to it. And now we have the last one, Natsuki! What voice did I give her? Fallon, if you're not gonna take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh? What, you actually expect me to believe that you put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly, alright? Monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek. Cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. I guess it's kind of straight to the point, but I mean, yeah. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly! I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end and then made it fall flat on purpose. Excuse me, guys. It helps bring out the best feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess you were more into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? She's the youngest? I kinda would have thought Sayori was. Well, alright then. Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I didn't really care about how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. As if everyone's judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. But even if they're being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Atsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows raise and frown in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you say something? No, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it didn't really come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Fallen did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon. Unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. Oh, things are going down. Oh no. Oh no. Please, nobody fight. And Fallen liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Atsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Fallen appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? How do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? Oh, are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make sure everything I do over... I'm having a stroke. Hang on a second. I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one who's... Oh, God! I wasn't the only one whose chest magically grew a size bigger as soon as Fallen started showing up. Oh, God! Is that what this game is going to be? Okay. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys! Suddenly both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Fallen. She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she couldn't get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted? There we go. For no reason. The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Fallen. Wait, there's no reason. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Fallen? Well? Please tell me I'm not going to have to pick a side. How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whoever I agree with will probably think more highly of me. So of course it's going to be, I don't want to pick! Help! Natsuki! Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth, so instead I turn to Yuri. Yuri? But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori? Yeah. Everyone's fighting and making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel this way? I mean, that's a fair excuse to get out of a fight. Fallen? Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that's made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop! Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words, and Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented, so why are we fighting? Because... Well... Also, Natsuki's cute, and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's just is the same as they've always been. Oh god. Big and beautiful. Sayori, you know... Okay. Y'all get the point. Sayori stands up triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So, this is why Sayori is vice president, I whisper to Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing for me. Nah. It's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori's amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be in her head, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I would say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Fallen, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. Maybe you learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn more about the kinds of poems everyone likes, but then he looked at me and I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nodded myself with newfound determination. Fallen! Ready to walk home? Sure. Let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Alright, I believe this might be a good place to stop, everyone. So, anyhow, I hope all of you guys enjoyed the video. I suspect that this is going to be really long, even with being trimmed and everything, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. My social medias will be down below if y'all want to contact me or anything else. Give me some video suggestions. If y'all have any tips for my videos or anything else, feel free to let me know. Anyhow, I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you guys.